Hey, everybody. Our very first week of Algebra 2A for the Virtual Academy. Here's our week at a glance video. There will be one of these every week. I'll try to keep things short and just go through what it is I need you to do. Please watch because there may be some announcements that I don't put in the weekly agenda, just some things I want you to be aware of. If you have not already done so, please make sure to watch the welcome, not the welcome video, what do they call it here? The intro video. It's linked there. It will be linked there as soon as I get that uploaded before we start class this week. So for this week and for every week, you will be able to follow along by taking a look at what you should be done every single day. As I mentioned in the intro video, it's not such a big deal as to exactly what day you do that, but you do need to go through things in a specific order. Schoology will only let you go through things in a certain order based on how I have the completion rule set up for folders. So what you should do on your first day of school, Tuesday, hopefully you already watched the intro video. Now you're just checking out the week at a glance video. I need you to complete the Who I Am form. And it actually should also say to read through the syllabus. I added that on here. I guess this did not update as quickly as I wanted it to. So I'm going to have you do that. And we'll come back to that syllabus in just a moment. Then Wednesday, we're going to look at Unit 0, Day 1. There's an Edpuzzle video lesson to watch. There's a recommended homework assignment to complete on your own, on your notebook paper. And then Thursday, there's a lesson quiz to complete for that same Unit 0, Day 1 topic, which I think was classifying real numbers. Then we'll get into Unit 0, Day 2 on Friday with the Edpuzzle and the recommended homework. And then next Monday would be the quiz for that content. So if you want, after you complete the Edpuzzle and recommended homework, if you want to go ahead and go to the next step and work on that quiz, you can absolutely work ahead like that. That's fine. Even though it's not listed as this week, I will always try to make sure that I have a few things open for you. So those of you that like to work ahead can work ahead. So down below here, we have a link for our syllabus. And I just want to go through that very quickly just to highlight a few things. So here's our syllabus. If you click on that link, it'll take you to this page. You can read through this more in depth on your own. My contact information is at the top. I want to focus on this section titled Grading. You see recommended homework says 0%. So there's not actually a graded assignment that affects your grade. I do ask you to turn it in. I do look at that. I give you points. It's just counted as 0% of your overall grade. I know that might be confusing, but just trust me, it works out that way. What you get scored on for this class to get your grade is watching the Edpuzzle lesson, and there's a few questions usually on each one. That's 20% of your grade. Those questions are usually fairly simple as long as you're paying attention and you're not playing on your phone or something else while you're supposed to be watching the video. Then the lesson quizzes that you take at the end of each day or each lesson is 30% of your grade. So right there, that's 50% together between the Edpuzzle and then the quiz. And then at the end of each unit, there's a unit test, which is worth 50% of your grade. So half your grade comes from the test at the end of every unit. Okay, so just wanted to make sure that that was clear about what goes into your grade. Now, some of you might be thinking, oh, sweet, we don't have to do the homework because it's not worth anything. Well, actually it is, because if you don't try the recommended homework and check your answers to see how you're doing, you're not going to do well on your quizzes and your tests. And it's going to show up because that's 80% of your grade if you add your 30% and your 50% categories together. So yeah, you kind of do have to do the recommended homework to make sure that you're going to do well on your quizzes and tests. If I keep scrolling down, again, you can read the rest of this kind of on your own, but it's just going to walk through a little bit more about each of those graded items, your lesson quizzes, your unit tests. My late work policy basically is this is an online course. You kind of work at it at your own pace. My suggested pace is in the weekly agenda, but really you kind of have until the end of the semester to finish things. I believe there will be a cutoff at the end of the quarter that you'll have to be done with a certain amount at that point, but as long as you guys kind of keep up each week, you'll be fine. If you have questions or need help, please let me know. Contact me either by email, phone call, or text. We can schedule an appointment and I can work with you that way. Your current grade will be in Schoology. The grades do transfer over to Student View / Parent View, but the Schoology grades are a little bit more accurate because they're live. and it's not until I hit a button that it actually transfers over to student view. So Schoology is where you want to look for grades. Assignments for the week are in that weekly agenda, as I just showed you earlier. And if for some reason you can't open an assignment or a quiz or anything, let me know. Send me an email. More than likely it's because you're trying to go out of order, where you're trying to do something for a specific day, but you haven't completed everything before that day. So I have completion rules on all my folders and all my assignments. You have to go through things in a certain order. So if you fall behind, you kind of have to keep track of where you were. Let me just go back to the folders for a minute. If you think you're trying to work on day 5, but these little drop-down arrows only appear like on day 1 and day 2, that means you're working on day 2. That last thing that has a drop-down arrow is going to show what you're able to complete. Okay, so if you don't see the drop-down arrow, you won't be able to do content from those folders. All right, if any of that's confusing, let me know. I'd be happy to go through it with you in the afternoon during office hours. All right, I wish you guys best of luck this week. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing some of your content come in for grading. Have a great week.